Hi all, my name is Desi, and for this video I'm going to answer for the FAQ, like this is so frequent being asked to me. Specifically for this time I'm going to answer the questions from our friend. So she sent me a message saying, "Hi Tri, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for accepting my request because we connect through LinkedIn. And I'm planning to apply for MSc Social Innovation and Entrepreneurship at LSE, but I'm not sure if it is the right fit for me. Can you please help me with brief detail about the program and what are the career options after graduating? I have gone through one course. I have gone through the course structure, but I would love to hear from you as you are a part of it. I would genuinely appreciate your support. Please help me out. Looking forward to your support. Thank you." And also, I have a lot of questions that come to my inbox, both through my Instagram or through LinkedIn, with the similar questions like that. So maybe this is the right time for me to share my point of view. Again, this is my personal point of view. This is might be doesn't represent all of the students from SIE. So this is a disclaimer first. And today I start with reopening my notebook, in which this is actually New York, but I use it to as a note during my study in LSE in London, because this is from my friend. And I will start by reviewing on the courses that we had. So in the first semester, or we call it as MT, Michaelmas term, and we have like, for me myself, I have 4 courses. So actually the mandatory one is only 3 courses, but because I do really want this course called Poverty under the International Development Department. So, and it's only available during the MT, so I have no choice, and I'm really down to choose it as my another course. That some of people saying to me that's quite challenging. Don't take any additional course or elective course during the first term because you're still adapting, you're still figuring out so many things. But at that time, I just like, I want this, so I got this. But this is again personal, so you don't need to follow mine. But if you have maybe similar concern, because that's that course only available during the first semester or the MT, take it. Follow your heart. Okay, so the courses that I took the first semester during my time at LSE is the first one. I think the most cool one, the most important one, is understanding social problems for innovation and entrepreneurship, in which we're trying to understand problems, view it from so many aspects, from so many perspectives, and then we talk about social enterprises around the world, and then we're also trying to understand about theory of change and how it affect and actually theory of change is like our mind map on how we're going to do our social enterprise. So this is so important. And then the second one is organizational behavior and marketing for social enterprise. So it's actually 2 courses but becoming one. In the first half before the reading week, we got the marketing for social enterprise, and this is this course is important. But for me myself, I would really suggest to also complement your understanding about marketing by also keep update with the 2024 marketing, especially for the digital marketing knowledge, because it's really important. And then after the reading week, we got the organizational behavior. And I still remember it so well that this is so interesting and makes me realize so many things. For example, a bit of my background. Before I pursue my master in social innovation and entrepreneurship at LSE, I already have my own social enterprise for like 3 years, and I'm building my social enterprise in Indonesia, and then so many times I feel overwhelmed and questioning, am I doing it right? Am I enough to do this? Should I do more? Am I doing it fair enough for all of the people? So this kind of, maybe some people call it as imposter syndrome, but that happens a lot in me. And because of this course, I understand my stance, meaning that, oh, again, it reminds me that I'm just a human, I'm just an individual, that having good intention on doing the business, and it's really normal and okay if sometimes I doubt myself. Yeah. And I do think this course is so interesting, and then I also love how the dynamics of the classes during that time. So everybody like telling the stories about what they did before coming to the class. Yeah, that's the second one. And then the third one is, this is still the mandatory course that I took, managerial economics and quantitative measurement for social enterprise. Again, this is so important. But there is a but. I'm not really into economics, meaning that that's too macro for me to understand this course, because I always been working on the micro, not the macro, but the micro. You got that? And it's really, I'm having quite difficult times during this course, because for so many times I ask myself like, why I have to study about this? Because this is so macro. At that time I still remember my group doing the presentation for the IFRS and GAAP, and I took quite a lot of time to understand what's the difference, how it works, how it involves the people or influence the people or the organization, things like that. Even I talked with my friend from he took the major in economics, and then also understanding about so many things that makes me questioning myself why I have to study this. But after maybe 1 year, during the last weeks as a student in the LSE, I start to understand, when we understand about the major or the macro of a knowledge, we can act wisely on our micro works. So it gives us like the helicopter view of the economic condition, or at that time about the auditing things, and how we, or I as a social entrepreneur that running my own social enterprise, can relate with that. And then how will I bring my company? I might have like imagination. If my company, my social enterprise in Indonesia, I brought it to the public, so public can invest. Yeah, I have that knowledge about GAAP and IFRS. Even though I'm sorry for now, I'm not really well understood about that, but I know a bit about it. And quantitative measurement for social enterprise. I think that's more interesting, even though that's more confusing for me, because I still remember we talk about how to measure impact. Not really, not only stopping at how our social enterprise exists and give impact to X number of people, but it's also trying to quantify how, if our social enterprise do not exist. So that's interesting for me, at least. And then the last course that I took, it's actually elective course, is poverty. It's under the International Development Program. And why I choose this actually because I myself living on poverty at a certain current of time of my past, and I still have a lot of my surrounding because I live in the village in Indonesia, still live under poverty, and I want to understand about that. The cons I think about this course is because I usually practical. I'm an entrepreneur, and then usually I'm trying to be practical about. Okay, I learned about this. What's for? How to solve about this? But it's totally different when we learn about poverty and under international development. It's not, the goal is not to solve poverty, but I do think it's more on how we see poverty. Just that. So at that time I was so questioning and confused because okay, we already talked about poverty, then what? And there's no exact answer about that. It's truly different how we have our courses under the Department of Management, SIE, and under the Department of International Development. So those topics are different. In the Department of Management, we're always being treated how to solve problems, how to accept challenge, and then how we not only survive but also thrive. But that's different in the international development program. We just like, okay, we know a problem. The problem is like this. We're working with numbers. We're working about theory. We're working on theories about poverty. So yeah, don't expect until you really have tender problem solving on poverty. Don't expect that. I just warn you. And that's the end of that's all of the courses that I have in the first term. And on the second term, because I already took my first elective, so in LSE itself, we only can take 2 elective courses, and I already took in my first term. And how about the schedule? Because I have 4 courses. So every day from Monday to Friday, I always have my schedule. Even though, like, for example, on Thursday, I only have 1 course from 3 to 4 p.m. And yeah, but basically what I want to tell is having 4 courses in the first term makes you full, makes your schedule full. And that's not happen a lot with if I can see my friends in my class, because they don't take any elective course in the first semester. But the good thing is, because I already take my 1 elective course in the first semester, on the second term, in the land term, I only took 1 elective course. That also means I only have 2 courses, the mandatory course, which is Social Innovation Design, and I took another elective course named Cross-Cultural Management. And at that time, I feel like I'm free. I don't have very packed schedule for my study. Yeah. Maybe that's the thing. And then I will also tell about how our project. So in our program in SIE, there is an international program. So I'm going to read here. Based on the website shown in lse.ac.uk, it says that core courses will also include an international field, research trip, field research trip with an NGO or socially focused organization in a developing country, as well as the opportunity to work on a practical innovation design consulting project. So I will go on that point later. And then on the long term, yes, I only have 2 courses. So I will talk specifically for the understanding social problems and also social innovation design, because they are the 2 courses that we work for our international field research trip. Again, disclaimer, I'm taking the 2022-2023 program. If there is any change, or there are changes, maybe you can ask them through email or through their website. You can check. But I will just tell what I and my cohort had. Okay, so another thing on long term, besides we only have 2 courses, we also have to prepare for our dissertation. So dissertation is a mandatory. It's 1 unit. So all of that courses that I told you, actually every course is only 0.5 unit. But for dissertation, it's 1 unit, so it's quite significant and big. And then on the second term, I also feel like it's more focused on how we prepare our international trip. At that time, in my cohort, we got 2 options. Either go to Kenya or South Africa. And the way I choose not really the country, but I do really choose about the project that I'm interested in. I'm interested in waste management, and it's in South Africa, in Cape Town. Maybe I can tell about that more. And then starting on October 2022, so on the Michaelmas term, the first term, we already talked about that. We are during the reading week. So basically, reading week is in the middle of the whole term. So I think on week 6, if I'm not mistaken, at that time it's supposed to be there is no class at all, and usually like the intention, LSE giving this kind of reading week, or I think other universities also have it, is actually if you are feeling left behind from your course, you can take your chance to learn about what you feel left behind during that reading week. But honestly speaking, most of the students use that time to have holiday, and I combined that I went to 3 cities in the UK. I went to Oxford, I went to Birmingham, and also I went to Sheffield. But most of that time I worked on my research, because during that reading week we have to interview the organization that we're going to work. So we use that time to doing interview to understand about the problems. After that, in the first semester, we have our TOC, Theory of Change, for our organization that we already choose. At that time, one group consists of 5 to 6 persons, and we're working on one company. And I'm sorry, I'm not really understand, or I'm not really well informed about the projects in Kenya, because I went to South Africa. And at that time, in the first semester, the output is actually to have theory of change for our organization. And on the second term, or on the long term, we try to make a report how the social enterprise we design based on what we found on the first semester, as we already had interviews and also had our TOC, and then on February. So the lantern started on middle of January, and then on the end of February we flew to our house country, South Africa. So we flew to South Africa, and then for I think like 7 days or a week, like that. And then there, every day, in our case, in my group case, we have our routine. In the morning, we went to the beneficiaries or with the to the stakeholders address, and we were doing our research. For example, when we came to the waste speaker's house, we're trying to also experiencing how they store the waste and how they bring it to the collecting point, to the waste truck. And then on another day, we also went to the warehouse, we might say, for the waste and how these waste are being processed by that big machine. And on another day, we also went to the houses of the waste speaker. They work for the government. They're being paid by the government. So yeah, we went to that stakeholders to understand more about this project. And then we go back to London after 12 hours. And we start to make our report. And at the end of the term, we have the chance to present about our report and our ideas. So basically like that. Maybe that's only question answering the first question. And for the second question, that's the brief detail of the program and what are the career options after graduating. For now, I'm recording this on early January, and then we only have our graduation last December. Last month. For now, this is my answer for now. For now, I have myself. I'm working as an entrepreneur, social entrepreneur. I go back to Indonesia and continue my social enterprise. Some of us also working for an NGO, both nationally or internationally, and then becoming consultant, and then becoming analyst, and working for the work organizations, and then even work for startup. So yeah. And another, I think, interesting story, one of my friends was live in a city, but after finishing from LSE, this person decided to go back to the village. So that could be a career options. It depends on it depends on how's your background, how is your aspiration. Fun fact, I was really confused how will I continue my career. At that time, I feel like I'm in the middle of crossroad, either to try to have a career in a work organization. At that time, I really want to go to UNICEF, or I go back to my country and continue what I already built in Indonesia. That's really a dilemma. I can tell you, that's really a dilemma because of so many things. Maybe I can tell in another video. But for now, I choose to work on my social enterprise and continue what I already started. And I have a bigger picture that I have in mind. So the reason I continue my studies actually to answer, am I doing it right? Am I doing my social enterprise right? And the answer after I finish my program is yes, I do it right. But for now, I can see like a very big space that I need to fill in a way to make it grow. That's something that I cannot see before my study. So I'm really thankful for that. Maybe for now, I will start with that. If you have any more questions or you want me to make another videos, just comment down below, or you can check out my social media or LinkedIn. Just say hi to me or send message to me. I hope the best for everyone that watching this video. Any one of you that want to continue your study in MSc Social Innovation and Entrepreneurship in LSE or in the UK, or for any master degree everywhere that you want. All the best and see you. Bye bye.